Well, all right, it is that time again, Tuesday night, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. It is time to step into the pocket dimension where we will paint all the things. So, thanks for joining me once again, folks. And tonight I am finishing up this green dragon from Wizkids Deep Cuts. You can get them. They're about $15 a pop. I'm just telling you, I don't get any consideration from WizKids for using their product here. But I do get consideration from Dubby Energy Drink if you use my discount code ROKKITFUEL. That's Rocket Fuel, ROKKITFUEL, on the Dubby website, and try a new energy drink today. So that's my advertisement. So that's one way to support the channel. Another way to support the channel is by subscribing on Twitch. If you subscribe on Twitch, you will be entered into the August company of the Monthly Monster Club, where each month a monster is painted, and then it is given away at random to one of the Monthly Monster Club members. That's a lot of M's. The Monthly Monster Club members. So, there it is. Now, I will make a little confession. I did work on this a little bit more this evening because I want to get this done tonight. I worked on it a little bit while watching Build Paint Play, which on Tuesday nights, before watching this show, you should watch Build Paint Play right here on YouTube with Dave Taylor and Jake Krajewski. Two of the most amazing hours learning about some of the tips and tricks that you can use to, I will say it's not solely about that. It's a little bit eclectic. It's not solely about one thing. Like this channel mostly pays attention to painting miniatures, right? As we've done. And I do talk about game design and the like, but it's a kind of a one-man show. So I just talk about whatever comes to mind while I'm painting. Even some big dad advice, you know. But if you're interested in the wider hobby, some of the industry as well, and hearing I don't want to say old timers, but some of the people from the old days at Games Workshop, where they've transitioned to in their careers, and what they're doing now, you'd be surprised at how many people are doing things that you probably are also playing in addition to your usual Space Marine collection. Let's see. Lost my train of thought. It derailed. So anyhow, so it's a little bit more of an eclectic show over there at Build Paint Play on Tuesday nights at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. You really should check it out. It's got a wide range of things from convention reviews to interviews with people in the industry, people that have new products coming out, independent gaming companies. A few months ago, they interviewed Sean Sutter, who has a game called Moonstone out. Very, very, I would say it is, the art style is whimsical hipster style of an art. Very, very watercolory, sort of watercolor fantasy children's book sort of art style for that game. But a lot of people like it. It's a little skirmish game, as many games of recent development are. Skirmish games are really the way to go. One of my favorites is Song of Blades and Heroes, because you can use any miniature that you want in Song of Blades and Heroes. And of course, any miniature in your collection, and this beautiful green dragon could be in your collection if you decide to become part of the Monthly Monster Club by becoming a subscriber here on Twitch. Because I figure if you're going to put some money into supporting the channel, you should have a chance at having something out of it as well, more than a sticker or whatever. But this way, and this way you get a chance to have a nicely painted figure for your gaming table. Of course, there are some people that just like to have them on display, and I guess you could say that it's worthy of display. I'm not particularly. I'm not by nature a display level painter, but some people like to display them. I've heard a lot of people say it looks better in hand than it ever does on the channel or in pictures. I'm inclined to believe that. I understand. It generally does, and there's a lot of reasons for that. Now, here's a cool thing. So tonight, on Build Paint Play, they were interviewing a gentleman who is known for his excellent miniature photography. So go over and watch the VOD for Build Paint Play and learn how you can take better pictures of your miniatures. Because we would all like to have our miniatures, the quality jobs that we do, reflected in the pictures that we take of them, and that's not always easy to do. So, but so what I've got here tonight to finish up, I think I'm going to do a little bit of gray work on this spine here, and maybe pick out these spikes. And I did a little bit of dark green to lighter green fade and highlighting here on his those back plates. So I got a little lazy with it back here, quite honestly. A little bit of a mistake. But if you don't say anything, I won't say anything. If you don't holler, I won't scream. So, all right. Well, let's go ahead and we'll get some dark gray. And, hey, Miar. How's it going? Dude, my happy place is here. Nice. I'm glad that this is a happy place for you, Miar. That makes me feel good. I like to be upbuilding. You know, there's so many things in this world that are degrading and tear people down. I like to be upbuilding. It's too easy to let everything just get to you during the day. And, you know, today I didn't have the greatest day. But, you know, not every day is going to be a perfect day, right? So, all right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this dark gray, and this is a dark gray. This is called Necromancer Cloak. It's kind of a colder dark gray, and we have been using cold colors. I haven't gone up into any warm colors other than the brown base, and it's a little bit of a cold brown too anyway, because I added some black to it. So, didn't either. Yeah. Sometimes it's like that, Miar. Sometimes it's like that, you know. But we can put that all aside and focus on something fun for a couple hours here. And that's not bad, right? So it's good to have a happy place. All right. Now, so I don't know that I necessarily want to fill in all these ridges here, but I would like to kind of do a little overbrush. And after I do an overbrush, I think what I might do is I might give it a little wash of Nuln Oil. So now Thursday there won't be a show, a stream on Thursday because I have. Hey, your boy Heavy T, how's it going? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate seeing you here. Hope everything's going pretty cool where you are at. Hope today was good for you. If it wasn't, that's too bad. But you know what? We can leave that all aside and just enjoy the evening and paint some cool things. So there won't be a stream on Thursday night because I'm going to be doing a paint and take this weekend. Um, so as you know, usually the week that evening, well, specifically because I actually will be starting the paint and take on Friday. So Friday and Saturday I'll be running a paint and take. So as you can imagine, I need an evening to get everything prepped and ready to go. So Thursday night there won't be a stream. So yeah, it is fun. It is really fun. Heavy T. I know Blades was running a paint and take. I think last weekend or weekend was it last weekend? I think because I did one the weekend before, and then I think she ran one last weekend if I remember her posts correctly. So that's something for her to be proud of. Sharing the hobby with people. Yep, Painterly getting her. Yep. I kind of wish I had somebody to help me run my paint and takes. Sometimes I'd really like to have somebody I could just turn it over to, and say, "All right, let me you run the paint and take, and I'll start running some classes and really take everything to another level." But that has not been the case yet. So it is what it is. Hey, Blades, your ears are burning. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Nice. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, we were just talking about you. All good things, my friend. All good things. So, all right. So now we're going to take a little bit of this medium sea gray and we're going to let it blend up. I'm going to chase that around. Chase that necromancer cloak around the all bad hope. Well, I don't know if we want to hope for bad things. Let's not hope for bad things, Blades. Let's hope for good things. Always keep hoping for good things, all right? All right. So, I don't want to do too much here. I want to just get a little bit. I'd like to blend this, but if it doesn't blend, I'm okay with that. Because I'm going to wash this down with Nuln Oil anyhow. I may actually have this a little too thick. Just a little too thick, and that's okay. We'll just go back. We'll take some water. We'll just run it back here, and we'll just let it do its thing. And if it sinks in, it sinks in, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. Yep. Uh-oh. Stub the toe. I did that years ago. I actually broke my toe from stubbing it one time. That wasn't fun. Seventh grade, I went to school with my. I mean, you can't really put a cast on it. It's kind of weird, You can't put a cast on it. But I got a pair. I got one crutch just to take the pressure off. But it hurt like the dickens, I'll tell you what. Absolutely was no fun. But I tell you, kids are cruel, you know. I got teased mercilessly about it. But breaking your toe is it's not fun. No, twice on the bed and cried both times. Oh, yeah. You know, there are some times where it's okay for a man to cry. Oh, there is a new movie coming out. I just saw the trailer. Looks really good. I'm not one to really recommend. I'm not recommending it because I don't know what it's like, obviously. Um, but who is it? It is. They got him all made up. He's looking old, and he plays. Was it Viggo Mortensen? Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, he plays old war veteran, World War II veteran. That he's got to get out of the. He wants to go to like the 50th or 60th anniversary of D-Day because he's got some buddies that are going to be there. Of course, he wants to remember. It's called The Last. Is it called The Last Private? Or The Last Rifleman? It's called The Last Rifleman. So I just saw the advertisement for it today, the trailer. Look it up on YouTube, called The Last Rifleman. I'll tell you what, if you don't get a big lump in your throat just from the trailer, you have no soul. I gotta say that. It's just it's okay for men to cry sometimes. I think that's one of those movies that you can have honest big man tears about. So, and it would be okay. Can I hold my big man, Teddy? Yes, you. Yes, you may, Miar. You can absolutely hold your big man, Teddy. All right, so now we're going to go up to Sky Gray here. And this is just going to be Vallejo model color Sky Gray, and we're just going to get a final highlight on that. What would you call that? A ridge, a ridge, and then may do a little wash. May do a green speed paint on that or something. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe just Nuln Oil, maybe, or black wash of some sort. So remember, there is more ways to support the channel than just becoming a member of the monthly Monster Club by subscribing. One, just being here is great. Two, if you're on YouTube, give it a like, subscribe, and share if you're not subscribed on YouTube yet. That would be dandy. Give it a like and a share over there. You could also use Twitch Prime for your for a subscription for free, which would also put you in the running for a monthly monster for whichever month that you use your Twitch Prime subscription if you're not using it already. You can always change it up each month. That's the nice thing about that. And just being here is great. Love having y'all. I really do, and that really means more than anything. Kind of keeps it going, you know. And if you know anybody that likes miniatures but doesn't know where to turn for good advice, well, don't send them here because I have no good advice. No, I try to have good advice. I try to show achievable, easy ways to do things. I am not one for all these really time consuming methods. I want to get things on the table so you can play with them and do it well. That's the whole point of this channel, and it's a way to get people away from being afraid. I had somebody say the other day that they're afraid to mess things up with their miniatures. Well, you really can't mess it up. It's just paint. If you put it on thin enough, you're going to be safe. Oh, thanks, your boy Heavy T. Appreciate that. I do serviceable work. It'll get you on the table and it'll look nice, but I don't think I win. You know, I wouldn't win any awards for sure. I have a very clean style, and that is not the preferred method these days. People don't like that clean, sharp look. You know, they like to have everything blended and weathered all to within an inch of its life, you know. I just want to get it on the table and have it look good. Have something you can be proud of having on a shelf. But more importantly, and to my original point, I want to show people that it's easy to paint well. It's really just a process. You don't really have to be artistic. There's a lot of people that think they have to be artistic, but they don't. Once you learn the process of what goes first and what comes second and what goes third and fourth or the like, once you learn those basic steps, you'll start, you know, at least for me, I started seeing more places I could take it. So I've had people come to paint and takes even and say, "Oh, I can't do this. I don't have any artistic skill." And 2 hours later, it looks like they've been painting for 10 years. You know, shoot for finishing a mini in 7 streams. Well, I'll tell you something, Blades. These monsters that I do each month take between, well, let's see, the blue dragon actually was the one that took the longest. I think that took me, man, that took me, I'll tell you what, I actually lost count of how many streams the blue dragon took me. This has taken me about 3 streams, I think. Maybe 4. It would take longer, but I did cheat tonight a little bit. Generally, I don't like to paint off camera, especially if I'm going to be doing, well, I don't like to paint the monthly monsters off camera because I think that kind of cheats people out of the process a little bit. But I did tonight just so I can get this done. And, you know, because like I said, I won't be on stream Thursday. I'll be getting things ready for the paint and take. So with that in mind, you know, I have to kind of get things done tonight so that I can hopefully draw, find out who gets to adopt this wee beastie. So, let's see. The other goal that we have here on this channel is 400 followers. At 400, I'm going to be, and that's on the Twitch side, 400 followers on Twitch. When I hit that number, I'm going to do a drawing for the followers. You don't even have to be present to win. That's the other thing about monthly monsters. Even if you are a monthly monster member, you don't have to be present to win. So your name goes in anyhow. Void where prohibited, and Quebec. Those crazy Quebecois. Dig those crazy Quebecois. I can say that because I'm partially French Canadian, partially Micmac. So First Nations. But they still won't let me have Columbus Day off. The white man's still taking my labor on Columbus Day. Let's see. Yeah, having fun. Have my mini prime before I start the stream. Yeah, that's helpful for sure. So I apologize. I'm not quite catching up with the chat a little bit here. Let's see. Let's see. Tabletop standard or better? Yeah, absolutely. Your boy Heavy T. If you have fun, that's important. Sometimes you make it better, sometimes it don't. But have fun with it. Absolutely, 100%, man, 100%. Let's see. Blades is getting faster. She enjoys the process. Every time you do something, you're gonna figure out things. Again, the hobby is something a lot of people talk about fast. But again, it's your hobby. You can do it as fast or as slow as you want. You can also enjoy the process, and if you want to work that paint a little bit longer and get things blended up a little bit more, you want to try something, or you're working up and maybe glazes and just working that color up. Some of those processes aren't really fast. There's nothing wrong with being speedy. There's nothing wrong with being quick. But there's also that balance between quick and good. We don't want to sacrifice good for quick, but we also don't want to sacrifice good for perfect, right? So enjoy the process. Find out what your level of acceptable finish is, because here's the funny thing. Maybe you've heard this before, and I've said it, but art is never finished. Art is only abandoned, right? Because is one more brush stroke going to make that better? Or is one less brush stroke going to make it not good enough? Only the artist knows. There comes a point where the artist decides he's done enough. It's where he wants it to be. So art is never finished. It's only abandoned. Same thing with miniatures. Miniatures are just as much of an art form as painting on canvases. So a miniature is never finished. It's only abandoned. It's abandoned at the point where it's good enough, where you're satisfied with what you've done, where you're satisfied with the level that you've taken it to, you're satisfied with the methods that you've used, and you're satisfied with the results that you've achieved. And that's the thing. You're satisfied with what you've achieved. Two main words there were satisfaction and achievement. We don't have to paint to somebody else's standards. We paint to our own standards. Let's see. Prime before start streaming. Yeah, heavy toys. Let's see. Save you the trail. Just mail it to me now. All right, Blades. Let's see. Don't mind being a slow painter. Right. Very true. Yeah, Miar gets it. Welcome to the Pocket Dimension, where we dispense hobby, hobby, hobby advice and life affirming big dad advice, as Dollar Dylan likes to say. Actually, I watched Miniac's video today. That's Scott Walters, Miniac. He had some interesting things to say. I said in his I said in his comments, I said, Scott, I'm the only one that's allowed to dispense big dad advice. He got a kick out of that. But no, you should watch that. It's actually a really good, kind of introspective. I think it's things that everybody's thought about, as far as painting and what they're doing with their hobby. So I think that was it was really insightful things, good things for everybody to keep in mind. Um, yeah, so definitely take a look at Miniac's video today. It's quite good. Try and catch his live streams. I used to watch his YouTube pretty regularly before I knew what Twitch was. Yeah, he's on Twitch as well. I don't get to catch his live streams a lot of time. I'd like to. I have caught a couple here and there. I used to sit and watch a lot of other people's channels on Twitch, um, when I was first starting out. But as it is, life is what it is, and I just kind of had to focus on my own channel and just carve out the time that I have for it, and then basically the best I can do is just raid out at the end of the session, right now. So, all right, we're just going to use some Nuln Oil and let it blend right here on this fin back here. I did add just a little touch of water to it. So, but it's nice to have something to paint at the end of the day. Good people to visit you while you're painting. And like I said, my main concern with this channel is to show accessible ways to paint. We can't all be Sam Lenz. And I don't want to be Sam Lenz. I want to be JP Gotrokkits, I don't want to be Eric Swinson. Now, what I'm saying though is we can still learn a lot from these people that have carved out their place as great painters. Just because Monet is in the Louvre doesn't mean that we can't paint either, I don't want to be Monet, I don't want to be Van Gogh. I want to paint and enjoy the process, and have something cool to show for it at the end. I think a lot of people get hung up on comparing what they're doing to what other people are doing, and it's important to not. It's one thing to learn from other people that have more experience or have achieved a certain level, but don't compare where you are in your hobby adventure with with what somebody else is doing, is achieving, or has achieved. That's not to say that you can't ask them for advice. And I'll tell you, most of the people that have ever won big awards and are recognized in the hobby, they're super happy to, um, they're really happy to share with you and give you a critique, or talk to you about where you can improve if you want to try to get to that level. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not criticizing that by any means. Um, I'm not saying don't I'm not saying don't try. I'm saying don't get frustrated and think that you're no good because you're not doing what somebody else is doing. You will get there. You will get to where you want to be eventually. But notice I said where you want to be. You have to want that. That doesn't come naturally. That doesn't come overnight. You know? That does not come overnight. It comes with years of practice. But I'll tell you what, there are people, and the gentleman who was the guest star on, or the guest speaker, the guest star, I don't know. He's pretty much a star in my book. But the guest on Build Paint Play tonight, he's only been painting since 2021, and his stuff is amazing. And we all know Ed. We know Monster Den. We know Ed over there at Monster Den. Ed's only been painting since 2018. I've been painting since 1989, and I can't get close to those guys' results. They came out of the gate, and they had a lot more resources than what we had. And so here's the difference. So I learned how to paint independently, right? I looked at White Dwarf. I saw the pictures. In fact, the first couple of White Dwarfs that I had didn't actually have any kind of tutorials in it. They just showed the end product. And so I got what paints I had, and I painted toward the end product. And I got there, and I made it look pretty good. And that was with, a few acrylic paints that I got from a hobby shop that was in a town 100 miles away, and some nasty old enamel paints that I got at the local department store. Because back in the day, Tester's enamel paints and plastic monogram and Revell models was all we had. Hey, Patty. Good to see you. Nice. Nice. Good to see you, man. Chatting on YouTube. Have to get back to classwork though. Miss you. Trying to catch you live. Yeah, I understand. Dragon looks awesome. Have a wonderful. Well, thank you very much, Patty. Thanks for being here. Yeah, I'm not seeing it come through. Oh, you know what? I think I don't know what's going on over here on YouTube. Um, I'm not okay. Now I'm seeing. it. It wasn't. It wasn't updating. I don't know. So weird. Yeah, but the old Testers paint. Yeah, so have a great class there, Pat. Enjoy learning about the electrical trade. One day you too can be 46 feet in the air wrestling a light parking lot light into place by yourself all day long. Anyway, yeah, so anyhow, so what we got here? So yeah, Testers paints and plastic models and nasty smelling stuff. And that's all we had back in the day. But I applied what I knew, and you could thin them up. A lot of people didn't understand how to thin up their Testers paint, so they put them on gloppy, or they didn't understand primer. I've got all my miniatures from back at that period. None of them have any chips because I primed them. I knew about priming, so I found a primer and I used it, and the paint sticks just fine. And of course, the enamel paints tend to stick a little bit better than the acrylic paints because they're a little harder on the outside. Um, but again, I didn't glop it on. I don't have any really overly thick paints on those. So they look pretty good even nowadays. And that was 30 years ago. So, all right. All right, all right. So here we go. Let's get these eyes. Use some yellow for these eyes. What we got here? I'm going to start out with some green ochre on the eyes before I go to yellow, because green ochre by Vallejo, and that is 914, which I think the Flames of War, the 914, if you put the 70 in front of that, 70.914, I think it's the same color. So even if you get the model color, green ochre, that's actually not bad. It's pretty close. So, I'm going to go ahead and let me get just a little... I don't like to use teeny tiny brushes. Again, remember what I always say. Just because you have teeny tiny miniatures, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to use teeny tiny brushes. So... whenever I do paint and takes, I put out 2 brushes at each station. I put out a big number 4 brush, 3 or 4 size brush, and I put out a 3 or 4 size brush, and I put out a like an aught size brush. And invariably, people go right to the aught size brush. Which is understandable. But then I tell them, hey, believe it or not, you can do 80% of your work with the big fat brush. And they go, really? I say, yeah. Because the Walmart brushes, actually, surprisingly enough, have a pretty good tip. They will hold a pretty good tip for a while. So they got a big belly, so you hold a lot of paint, and they hold a nice tip. So don't poo-poo the Walmart. I think Royal Langennickel is the brand. I think. So give them a shot, folks. They're actually pretty decent. Hey, Midrill, how's it going? Good to see you. Sorry about the ad. A little moon dust. All right, so good. The ad's over. So, yeah, I'm glad. Thanks, Midrill. I appreciate it. It's looking not too bad, I gotta say. If I do say so myself. So. Yep. So now I'm just using this is a yellow called Moon Dust. It's very bright, very pale. And I'm going to go in and put that on the eye. There. And here. Just a little dab will do you. A little dab will do you. So 9:45. We got an hour and 15 minutes yet. We may just make this being complete tonight. So I think I'm just going to leave the eyes as being bright. I don't know if I'll put any pupil on them. Yeah, might as well put some pupils on them. Might as well, make them worthwhile. We're going to all that work anyhow. So let's go ahead and we'll get some red. This is yeah, I am making some pretty good time, Heavy T, but like I said, I did cheat. I did paint this. I did paint the base and a couple other little features. I did a little bit of glaze work on the plates on the back. I did those during the Build Paint Play stream that I watched earlier this evening, so I cheated a little bit in the time, but again, I want to get this done for people because I won't be doing any streaming on Thursday night, so my usual Thursday night stream is not going to be happening because I got to get things ready for Friday for the paint and take. It's a trade-off. Hey, how's it going, Savage Brewski? Good to see you. Appreciate you being here, man. Hope everything is going well in your new place. Getting settled in. Hopefully we can see some more content coming from you. I know you're gearing up to do your little terrain videos again, and maybe we'll start seeing that podcast from you again too. That'd be pretty awesome. But that's okay. Take your time. All right, so we're just using some of this. This is Fresh Blood 09279 from Reaper Paints. And I squeezed out more than I really should have there, but you'll get that from time to time. So I just want to do a little dot. Right there, where he's looking in the front. Same thing here, where he's looking in the front. And I guess I could probably do a little bit of just a little dot of black, but I like dragons with luminous eyes, kind of like cat's eyes in the dark. I kind of like that a little bit more. So I think I'll just leave those as they are. Now we'll get these teeth in this mouth going. Let's see. Savage Brewski says over here on YouTube, he says, "Yep, still working on the terrain. Gonna review some new product from Huge Miniatures." Nice. Huge Miniatures is actually Huge Miniatures is not too far away from me. They're regional, being Ohio, an Ohio company, and they're usually at most of the conventions that I go to. Of course, they're Adepticon, but they were at least. Now I haven't been to CincyCon for a couple of years because I've been running paint and takes, and the convention that I do that at is on the same weekend sometimes. But they were coming down to Cincinnati for a while. Let's see. They now have the fluorescent pigment line. Yeah, I saw that. The fluorescent pigment line looks pretty interesting. I've never really had call to use pigment powders yet. I'm not sure what I would use a fluorescent one for, but I'm sure somebody out there is going to come up with some amazing application for it. The brushes work well, by the way. Thanks again. Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad I could send that out to you. So I'm glad those got there. And that Nova orange is pretty neat too, I think. I'm trying to collect all. I'm a sucker for orange paint for whatever reason. Even though I don't hardly paint anything orange, when you find a nice orange, and Monument Hobbies for the lighter colors, Monument Hobbies really has a great product line um, because they're lighter colors. A lot of times you can kind of judge a paint by how they do their lighter colors, like their whites and their yellows and their reds. And Monument Hobbies, if you don't know, has some of the best ones. Looking at pigments right now, Miar says, on Jackson's Art Supplies. Yes. And now, you want to know what people used to do? And this is from the scale modeling side of things, because that's kind of, I did scale modeling really before I started doing miniatures. In my early teen years, I did well in my single digits, the latter years of my single digits, through my early tweens and on into through my tweens and into my early teen years. I was into scale modeling. So, and man, we had such nice scale models back in the day. I mean, and they were like they were you could literally get, if you saved your lunch money for a week or a week and a half, you could literally have a nice model. $5, $6, $7, and you could get a nice. I should start doing, you know what? I should start doing I should pivot a little bit on this channel and start doing scale models. Of course, scale models can get real crazy. There's a lot of time when it gets when you really get into scale models, you can put a lot of time into them. Just loads of time. Super detailing. I mean, there's just so much you can do with scale models. But a lot of things also translate very well over to the miniatures side of things. But I digress. As I was saying earlier, a moment ago, and I got distracted. Um, Sorry, concentration here. Um, Back in the days, before we had before we had the pigment powders, a lot of guys would take chalks, different colored chalks, artist chalks, pastel chalks, and crush those up and use those to do what they're doing, to do weathering with, like so. On one hand, there's nothing new under the sun. On the other hand, we just have more products, more dedicated products to do it with. So, that was just some contrast paint. What is that? Sigvald Burgundy, I think, is what it is. So, I really wanted to go more dark. I wanted to. So, evidently, green dragons breathe poison. Or, yeah, poisonous gas, right? I think, is it? So, I wanted to try to impart that idea. I was thinking about doing his mouth up in black and grays, but I think it would get lost. So I don't think black and gray is really a wise choice to do his mouth in. So I think if I go with this deep burgundy color here, I think that's the way to go. And we're going to let that dry up, because we're going to do the teeth up in grays and whites. So Jackson's Art Supplies. That'll have to look that up. But yeah, so we've got a lot more dedicated hobby items nowadays. that in the old days we just kind of had to make up with what we could just scrounge, you know. So maybe you've heard of sealing your miniatures with pledge. That was a thing for a while because pledge is actually just an acrylic. It's glossy acrylic medium. I don't know what it is now. I mean, I think they've changed the formula, but it used to just be basically found ceramic wells. Nice, 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 nice. Ceramic wells are well, ceramic is really good anyway. This tile, that's my palette, so it cleans off nicely because I can just scrape it with a razor knife and have some good outcome there. So we're just letting that contrast paint dry. While we let that dry, let's go ahead and get some Agrax Earthshade, because why wouldn't you get Agrax Earthshade? And we're going to try to do this without spilling the Agrax Earthshade. And we're just going to mop it on the base here. Add a little dimensionality to it. When that dries up, I know that the mouth will be dry. So the idea is going to be to try to make this look swampy. Now, whether I can do it or not, I don't know. Might have to throw some gloss on there or something. Make it look muddy and slick. I don't know. Haven't really thought about it much at the moment. And even if it coffee stains a little bit, it's okay because it's just the terrain. It's just the ground. The ground doesn't have to be doesn't have to have a lot of clarity on the ground. We're just looking for motley, icky sort of a look. Yeah. So we'll just kind of wick some of this stuff away. And I got a darker brown all the way around the edge here to try to make it look very swampy. Now that I might actually put some gloss on it to make it look like water, scummy water, you know. So we'll clean this brush out. All right. We'll let that dry up. Here we are waiting on paint to dry, right? Whoever thought that you'd spend an evening watching paint dry, right? Must see TV right here, folks. Must see TV. Watch paint dry. So get that, let that burgundy dry up. It's still a little wet in there. I don't want to hit that mouth while it's still wet, because I don't want them to have pink teeth. You know. So. But yeah, we got the Agrax Earthshade drying up on the base. It's going along pretty good. Now it's a little thick, so it might take a minute or two longer to dry than I really wanted it to, but the mouth is drying out pretty quickly here. So that'll be a good thing. So give it just another minute or two. Oh. So now, why are miniatures so important for video games? What's the connection there, do you think? Well, here's my thoughts. Video games are a collaborative effort. You have many different disciplines. You have writers, you have concept artists, you have uh, people that understand puzzles, you have um, people with strong game design skills, basically game theorists, right? So you have game theorists, which it's risk reward, carrot and stick sort of thing. It's taking that to a deeper, much deeper level of understanding than just that. Um, you've got people that have a understanding of math. You have programmers. You have digital artists. You have digital modelers. You actually also have people that 3D sculpt, so they get what's called a maquette of the characters in the video games. Sometimes they'll make up a maquette, which is a little sculpt. And at the end of the process, everybody has done something to help that video game come about. Well, miniatures are important to that process because miniatures are a collaborative process as well. You have somebody that designs a miniature. You have somebody that sculpts a miniature, whether digitally or physically out of putty. You have somebody that casts the miniature or makes up the mold, whether it's a metal mold or a silicone or rubber mold. And then you have the manufacturing process. You have the presentation, the packaging. You have people that work on the website to sell you the miniature. You have, finally, you, the customer that buys the miniature and chooses the colors on which to put that miniature. So, where does that leave you, the customer, the end consumer, painting the miniature in that process? Well, you choose the colors, you choose the story that you want to tell with those colors. Is that character that you're painting up for whatever game you're using, or even if it's just even if it's for display, what colors are you using to tell that story? Are you using browns and greens for earthy colors, or grays and drab colors, maybe to denote that character being of low station? Maybe you've put a lot of dirt and spatter and dirtied up their clothes and a lot of washes and the like to really grunge things up. Or maybe they're pristine and clean and they wear blues, crisp, light blues, light grays and whites, maybe they're rich, maybe scarlets and purples and gold and finery like that. So you can tell the story about the miniature, even though you may not be the person that sculpted it. You can tell the final part of that figure's story, that character. You bring that character to life when you put the colors on it. So, I don't know where I was going with that, but it sounded good in my head. So, anyhow, let's see. That Agrax Earthshade is drying up. The mouth looks pretty dry as it is right now, so let's go ahead and we'll put a bit of gray on the teeth to put a barrier between the burgundy and the white. So I'm going to use a bit of fog gray. This color gray, this is Fog Gray by Army Painter. This is their older line. There is an advertisement coming up in about 2.5 minutes So, again, I apologize if I talk through the ad because I know it's kind of rude to do that, but I don't always see it when it comes up. So, there is a way to avoid your ads. And if you're here on Twitch, you can use a if you have Prime, Amazon Prime, you can use Amazon Prime to subscribe for a month at a time, and hopefully it puts you in the running for one of these wonderful monthly monsters. So we're just gonna paint the teeth with this gray. It's kind of a middle of the road light neutral gray that we're using here. So it's mostly just as a barrier between that burgundy, which sometimes contrast paint likes to reactivate as well. Which I know the speed paints from the Speed Paint 1.0 line from Army Painter used to be very notorious for reactivating, which I did use the reactivation qualities of that on the Etten a few months ago to do the skin tones. Worked out very nicely, actually. Which I believe that Etten lives with Miar Ajnable now. Probably glares at him every time he walks by it to take the garbage out. Miar says, "Oh yeah, what are you Etten?" Etten. Making fun of the name of the Etten because he's always Etten. He's always Etten something. Why? Because he's got two heads. Maybe one head's a vegetarian and the other one is. Maybe what if one head is a vegan? No offense to vegans, but it'd be kind of funny because you have one head being vegan and one head being like, I eat whatever I want. I like meat. I like meat. And then the other head says, "Oh, you're so uncivilized. Meat is murder. Don't eat anything with a face." That makes some interesting discussions between the two. Two heads, one body. Sounds like together they have a balanced diet. Yeah, right? They only have one stomach between them, right? But Miar would know better. Miar might know better about that than I do. He's living at your house, man. All right. So that gray is down. Now I've got Agrax Earthshade all over my hand because I let it kind of dribble off the back there while I was holding it and painting it. Sounds like together they have a balanced dot. Yeah, right. Right. So we'll have the drawing here in just a little while, looks like. As soon as we get the last lick on this thing. I want to do some tufts as well, but if that Agrax isn't drying up and if it's running off on my hand when I pick it up, who knows how long that'll be before it dries. Alright, so let's go ahead and pick up some of this. I'm actually using, this is called Trooper White. By Too Thin Coats. I told you I had some Too Thin Coats. Yeah, Myar, that's today. So I got some Too Thin Coats. I got 3 colors of white here. So I got like an ivory, a brighter white, and a middle of the road off-white here. So all in all, it's pretty good so far. This is the first evening I've used any of it. But I want to use this off-white as opposed to a brash hard white. So, Too Thin Coats. I kind of like the bottle design, kind of. I mean, it's just a dropper bottle, but it's got a different nozzle than some of the others. Oh, nice. Gifted a 1 month sub to Blades. Sweet. Thank you very much, Myar. That is amazing. Very generous. Very generous. Oh, and to your boy Heavy T. Nice. Myar coming through with 2 gift subs. Nice. Nice. Very, very generous of you. So that takes us halfway to the 10 subscriber goal anyway. So that's pretty cool. Thank you very much, Myar. That was very generous of you. So that's over here on Twitch, folks, just to let you know. So we'll be getting that drawing up here in just a little while. So Myar has actually given four gift subs in the channel. So yeah, I'm doing the drawing tonight because I want to get it done. You know, I don't want to have the overlap that I've had the last couple of months with the monthly monster going on to the next month. So get it done, get back on track here. And of course, Thursday I've got to get ready for Friday. Because Friday's the paint and take. So, needed to get this done tonight. Tonight. And just so you know, you don't have to be present for the monthly monster if your name is in the subscriber roll. And I can pull that up. If your name is in the subscriber roll, you will be in the monthly monster giveaway. I mean, I could just, since Blades 81 is going to be in the drawing, I could just give this up and just, you know, say, don't even worry about the, at this point, a drawing, A drawing is just going through the motions, right? She wins all the time. Everything all the time. All right, I'm going to use a little bit of this Heartthrob Pink from Reaper to give a little bit of definition to some of the mouth bits, the tongue, and the what you call the muscles right around the back part of the jaw, whatever that is. I don't know. I'm sure there's some medical name for it, but there's kind of that muscly bit that always sticks out on dragons, like so. So yeah, whenever Blades is up for a drawing, the drawing is just a formality, you know. Oh, remember that month? Like she was in like 6 different people's chats. Six of the people in our sphere of people that we watch. We all kind of watch very many of the same people, and she won like all of them, or at least she won something from each one of them. It was very. It was, and it still happens to be a source of amusement for me. All right. All right, so what I want to do is that pink's a little bit more pink than I wanted. So I'm going to take some of this burgundy. Actually, I'm going to use the Sigvald. No, not the Sigvald, the contrast, the Vulpus pink. Not that I can tell a lot of difference between the Vulpus pink and the Sigvald burgundy. And I want to just kind of. It's okay to mix a little bit here. I just want to do something. I want to knock that pink down just a little bit. I want to add just a little bit more of a stripe down the middle than I don't want the whole tongue to be all pink. I want it to just kind of I want it to look sort of evil and poisonous, you know. That's kind of the whole point. Evil and poisonous. So, what I can do is I'm going to take a little Nuln Oil. Even though Nuln Oil is a shade and not a contrast paint per se, I'm going to take that and we're going to use it. And we're going to go out here on the very ends here. And we're going to hit the very tippy tip ends of this with the Nuln Oil, and just kind of let that gradient do its job. Actually, I do have the black speed paint. That might work as well, but yeah. We'll just let it do its thing there. Maybe I'll even use some actual black paint too. So I'll just let it blend up a little bit. So everything got pretty good lay down. Add water. That's fine. So most of this has pretty good lay down, so I'm not too worried about it, especially the contrast paints. It's got pretty decent lay down, so I'm not too worried about mixing it and getting it globby up and too thick on here. So I'm using the way that the Nuln Oil gives a little gradient, and I'm just going into actually just straight up hardcore black right on the very tippy tip ends of the tongue, because green dragons breathe poison gas. Their breath is death. So that's what we're gonna do, and let it there. So okay, so that's good. I think that's pretty good. Let me get a little bit of that, a little bit more of that Vulpus pink out here. Some of that heartthrob pink is still showing through, and I really don't want it to be over here so much. So, yeah, so it looks good there. And we'll just put it back in this area right there. All right, I think that's looking pretty good. Looking pretty decent, as the kids say these days, no cap. Mr. Fantastic, oh yeah, thanks for that. Thanks for the stretch there, Miar. Appreciate it. Mr. Fantastic, that's where we do. That's where we get up, and we stand up, and we stretch. Because I've been sitting here for near on to 2 hours. Actually, 4 hours, really, if you consider watching the build, paint, play, and working on this, getting a little head start for tonight, which I admit is a little bit of a cheat, but it's for a good cause. It's for philanthropy, as some would say. So my paint and takes are generally somewhat philanthropic pursuits. So, and I needed that stretch, so appreciate it. I need to blow my nose, but I don't have a tissue in here. All right, well, we'll be all right. We'll be all right for a few minutes here. So, thanks for the stretch there, Miar. Appreciate it. Oh. It's easy to forget to stand up and stretch every couple hours. Shake out the old hands, which that's to shake it off. Shake my hands. So, all right. I do need to get another bottle of water in here, though. So, I may just step away for just a moment. We'll stretch away and grab a bottle of water. So, I'll be right back. Doesn't even count as a bio break. Okay. Some hydration. Hydration. Shake, shake, shake it off. That's right. Exactly. Shake, shake, shake it off. Haters gonna hate, 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 hate. Something, something, something. Shake it off. Shake it off. All right. So here we go. All right, let's get on this. Let's get on this bass. It's all about the bass. Wow, that is still pretty wet there. So, all right. Let's see. Let's get a dark gray, and I'll paint some of these little rocks that are sticking on here. Yeah, let's get hardened carapace because it's a very brown sort of a gray. So we'll go with that. We'll go with it. And we'll get some water. We'll actually we'll incorporate some of these other colors into it because rocks have all sorts of interesting colors in them. So, nothing says that rocks always have to be bright gray. In fact, we're kind of going for a very more of a brown gray here, looks like. So a warm gray, which really works, quite honestly. And if we pick up a little bit of this Agrax mixed into it as we paint the base, I think that'll be okay. No big deal. No big deal. Why? Because it's just the ground. It's ground cover. And we'll pick a little bit of red into there. A little brown, a little red, a little gray. Bring that back up just a little bit. We're not looking for... We're just kind of going with what it is. Don't necessarily even want all these rocks to be the same color gray. That's the one thing that that can be difficult as well, is to break yourself of the habit. I know I have a hard time where all my all my rocks are always the same, neutral gray, light gray, lighter gray, light gray mixed with ivory, kind of a scheme. So there's nothing that says that you have to use the same color gray on all your rocks. So it's probably even better to not do so. So I'm just going to try to break up these rocks, giving them some different colors as we go here. And some of them might stay brown. And some of them might pick up might use some of the color on there. Right there. Add a little red, why don't we? A little gray, that makes a dark pink. Let's go ahead and add a little brown. That'll be interesting. We're looking to add just some interest, you know. Just adding interest on the ground cover. We don't want our rocks to all be just basic gray. You know, just basic gray is boring. Give them a little bit of interest by giving them a little difference. Even if your highlight colors are pretty much the same, like this is kind of just going to be there because it's kind of a sort of a limited palette right now. I don't really feel like getting out another color, gray. But you know, it do be what it do be, right? So just let it kind of just letting it kind of blend out and do whatever it wants to do. I'm just being a very easy going with it. Not really not getting too excited about various colors, just letting it do what it's going to do. If it blends on there, it blends on there. So let me just get a little bit of this sky gray here. And we'll just do a couple little dots of that. Just to kind of get some shape on some of these. And if it blends in, it blends in. That's okay. I am not against a little bit of wet blending, organically speaking. So again, that is unfortunate that that particular color I've used quite a bit now, and so it's looking a little too uniform. Trying to get away from that uniformity conformity sort of a thing there, and trying to be a little more random, but I wasn't very random that time, it seems. So we're going to add a little bit of that darker necromancer cloak, or hard carapace, I guess, and just kind of knock those down just a little bit. Beautiful. Yeah. Just trying to get some randomness, but I didn't do very good at doing randomness. All right. So let's see. Here we got a little bit of white glue. So we'll get the white glue out here. Make a nice little puddle of it. A little white glue. White glue. White glue because we can. Let's see. Before I do that, though, I want to get some gloss varnish. I I have matte varnish. I have silver. Where is the gloss varnish? Here's the gloss varnish. Yes. So, a little spittle. Yes, a little spittle helps. Sound effects, man. It's all about the sound effects. If you don't have good sound effects, then you just can't be effective. So what is gloss varnish? What is gloss? What is matte varnish? What is gloss varnish? Well, they're really just clear acrylic medium with a couple of additives in them. So that's why you wind up having buildup sometimes on the inside of these, just like you have buildup on paintbrushes. So we're going to pick up a little water. We'll pick up some of this gloss here. And because I want this to look like water, scummy, dirty, nasty water, I'm going to paint that with a gloss coat. Which I probably could have mixed this in with the Agrax Earthshade. That would have been an interesting combination. But I digress. No real reason to do that, though, I think. And if it's got bubbles in it a little bit, I don't mind because it is a swamp. Because where do green dragons live? Green dragons live in the swamp. Get out of my swamp! What are you doing in my swamp? I mean, if the swamp turns ogres green, then it must turn dragons green as well. Because my ogres aren't green. My orcs are green. My ogres aren't green. Alright, let's find a old gooey old brush here. We'll get some, let's take a look and see what we've got in the way of tufts. Well, buddy, that's just tuft. All right. All right, let's see. We've got tufts. We have got lowland shrubs. They're a little bright. Oh, that's not too bad. Lowland shrubs. That might be okay. We got some flowers from huge miniatures, just like we were talking about earlier. Here you go, Brewski. Here's some huge miniatures, tufts and flowers right there, like you were talking about earlier. Probably won't use those. Not on this one. I don't know. Maybe use some magenta flowers. That'd be interesting. I've not used magenta flowers. That would be a nice contrast. And it would pick up the color in the tongue as well. Look at that. That'll look nice. Might throw a couple of flowers on there. So lowland tufts, jungle tuft. It's a little bright. Got here. We've got swamp tufts. Here we go. Here's some swamp tufts. That's a nice icky sort of a green. So we'll go with the jungle tufts and the swamp tufts. And then we'll go with some magenta flowers. Go with some magenta flowers. And what else have we got here? Let's see. Let's see. I've got some reindeer moss here. I think we could probably work into the equation as well. So let's do that. Let's do that. Some reindeer moss, swamp tufts, and a couple of magenta flowers. Alrighty then. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Here's get the reindeer stuff out here. Where is that icky old brush? There it is. So, and this is officially an icky old. This when you go to the art store and you say I need an icky old brush, this is what they're going to give you. I mean, that's the official name of it. I'm kidding. It really isn't. It's just an icky old brush. So, all right. So we're going to put a nice glob of white glue on here. And the wonderful, wonderful thing about white glue is it dries clear. And it also dries fairly flat in color. So it doesn't gloss out too bad. So that's always nice. So let's see. We've got the old tweezers here. Something stuck in there. Let's get rid of whatever that is. Hot glue or something? That is icky. I don't know what that is. Very spiderwebby. It's not spiderweb. I think it's hot glue. All right. So let's go ahead and we'll jam that right into that white glue right there. Sorry, I just did that all out of focus, all out of frame. I apologize for that. It's all out of frame. So we'll put that in there, like that. Load some more up in there, thusly. Reindeer moss is what this stuff is called. I want to just say one thing about reindeer moss, and this is something a lot of people don't know. Now, you can actually find it out in the wild, but don't harvest it yourself out in the wild. Always buy it at a hobby store, because they know where the protected one, they've got their own ones that they have, but reindeer moss can take a while to grow, and it's actually protected. So the companies that harvest it legally do so. And if you were to start just going out and finding it, part of its own demise, why it's protected, is because of us. So we're killing the thing we love the most, right? It's kind of how it works. Sometimes it seems, unfortunately. But yeah, don't harvest it yourself. Only buy it at stores. Let's see, where's that? There's that thing. Okay, there it is. Okay. I'll pick up a little bit more of the old white glue. White glue. White glue. I actually take a little bit of this white glue. I'm going to water it down a bit. Water that down just a bit more. And just paint that on there. Get that on there just a little bit better. Let's see. Put some more green around towards the back there. We'll just add a little more white glue back here just to kind of anchor that down some more. And where it looks a little too messy, we'll just hide that with a tuft or two. Maybe that'll be where we put some flowers as well. I don't know. Put a little bit of this tan colored one back here along this crack ways, I think. Okay. And we'll just stick those down a little more with just a little bit of the white glue there. Let it do its thing. Right there. Yep. Now, we're going to add some tufts, I think. I really need to get this other light going on in here, for sure. So we're gonna pick up a pretty nice sized tuft of flowers here. And I'm going to stick it right here, right under his starboard wing here. Stick it right in there. Then we'll add just a little bit more around the very base of it, just to get it to hold down just a little more. Cool, cool. And, you know, I may add another little spot right here. Right here. That maybe there's another little bunch of flowers that live right here. Right there. All right. Let's see. Got 6 minutes to go. We got an ad coming in 5. So let's go ahead and throw a couple of swamp tufts and a jungle tuft in. Let's put the swamp tuft in the swamp. What do you say? So we'll put the swamp tuft right in here. Right in the swamp. Maybe we'll put one. Maybe we'll put a bigger one back here. Cool. I don't know if I should do any more. Maybe I'll put something on the back here. Let's see. Maybe I'll put one right here. I like to use what I call the rule of 3. I like to use, if I've got a small base, I like to do 3 things. So I like to work up in gradients of 3. I like to use at least 3 items on a base, so like 3 little rocks of different sizes, or maybe a rock and a couple of tufts, you know. Just try to give it something. Just try to give it some interest, you know. Sing it to the swamp, eh? Don't you think the swamp has had enough trespassers? Right? Very true, very true. Let's go with a couple of these jungle tufts just because I like how bright they are. I think I'd like to have just a little bit of a brighter color in there. That bright yellow I think will be a nice little addition. So maybe just a little, maybe right here. Maybe you got a little bit of a bright colored grass. Maybe that lives right there. So yeah. Maybe I need to add something back here too. I think I'll add something right here. Maybe another little tuft of flowers. I don't know. Add something here. Remember how I said a miniature is never finished? You just abandon it. Well, this is I'm kind of living right into that area there. So I just definitely need to get this done because we're almost out of time. Of course, it's my channel. I can go a little overtime if I want. And like I said, if you're subscribing, you don't need to be present for the monthly monster drawing. If you are a subscriber, you just are automatically in there. Whether you make the stream or not, you're already in there. So, and I will contact you if you win. So, let's see. Let's get a big chunky one here. Yeah, I think that looks nice. I think that looks real nice. Get a little bit of glue in there. Help lock that down. And we'll get a swamp tuft too. Jungle tuft. All right, I got to stop that. Okay. I think we're going to call it finished tonight. All right. So if we've got just a few more minutes, we're going to go ahead and do our drawing for this month's monthly monster. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go to, let's see. Here. No, that's not it. Maybe it's over here. I found it last time. I know where it is. I know I have it here. Oh, it's in. Well, I know I've got it here. I promise. It is here somewhere. I know I've got it. Maybe it is under here. Is let's see. I just wish they made this a little easier to find. I know that it's here somewhere. I know they've got. I know I've downloaded it before. It is under. Here we go. It's in the weirdest place to find the subscriber list here. Here we go. All right. So it is over here. I'll get the subscriber list. And we'll go over here to the wheel of names. Alright, so we're going to go over here to the wheel of names. We're going to load everybody up here. So, all right. So, Dollar Dylan is out for this month because he won last month's. Black Skull's not subscribing this month. We got Miar. We got your boy Heavy T. We'll put him in here. Copy. Paste there. Who else have we got in here? Rescued Ruckus. He's in. Copy. Paste. Let's see. Blades 81. She's in. So we got we have got, so we've got one sitting out because he won last month. I'm listed as a subscriber to my own channel, so that doesn't count. So in the queue tonight, we've got your boy Heavy T, we got Miar Ajnable, we got Rescued Ruckus, we got Blades 81 on the wheel of names. We're gonna go ahead and spin. We're spinning now. Your boy Heavy T. Your boy Heavy T, you have won the monthly monster tonight. Congratulations. And that is much due to Miar Ajnable's generosity in gifting you a subscription for the month. So, there you go. Your boy Heavy T, congratulations. So, you've been through a lot this year, man. I know you have. So, you deserve something nice. I think you're going to really get a kick out of it when this shows up at your house. So, you can hit me up. You can DM me through the usual channels there. Your boy Heavy T. And, yeah. So we'll send him on. We'll send him flying on down to you. All right. Hey Otto, nice to see you over there on the YouTube side. Good to see you, man. Catch up with you here tomorrow evening, I think. So, all right. So, all right. So, because YouTube does not have a community building raid function, we are going to go over here and we are going to drop out of YouTube's live stream. So, good night to you all who are on YouTube. We are going to end the YouTube stream. And as I always say, because I'm talking to both sets here, both Twitch and YouTube, no matter how bad today might have been for you, the sun's coming up tomorrow, and the world is a better place with you in it. So, we will catch you all again next Tuesday. No stream on Thursday. So, because I'm getting ready for a paint and take. So, we will see you all again next Tuesday night at 9 o'clock p.m. And you know the channels. JP Gotrokkits is the name, painting is the game. Good night to you on YouTube.